name's Jason. You are in the Transferable Skills Workshop. Are you in the right place? Are you in the right place? Okay, can I get a whoop whoop? Whoop whoop. All right, it's early morning, but it's awesome. It's the best Saturday of the whole week, and I'm glad we are together. So I gave you a sheet, a handout that has words on it that you as a student leader should hope that people say these kinds of things about you, right? But they're only going to say these things about you if you behave in a way that exemplifies those behaviors. So I do another workshop, which is a branding workshop, and I use this handout in that workshop. And in that workshop, I talk about behavior and how you show up. And it's never too late to start thinking about how you show up, right? And if you want people to say certain things about you, like if you look at the list and you're like, I want to show integrity, right? Then you must behave in a way that shows integrity. If you want to be brave, then at certain times in your life you have to take chances and push yourself out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself. And as a student leader, the only way to grow is to experience some pain, right? It's not pain, but it's anxiety, it's fear, it's stepping out of your safe space. And muscles, when people work out, when they work out, the muscles grow when they are sore, right? So really think about that. There might be some words on here that you're like, oh, you know what, I'm not that self-confident, but that's on the list, right? So maybe I need to start just walking into that space, right? Because you are already there. You are already there. The fact that you're at this conference, remember I said this yesterday, I already know that you're a rock star, right? You rock, right? And it's really going to be important for you to just embrace that. You're here and other people aren't. That's a big deal. And you're going to be able to create things for people on campus, and that's a big deal. Right? So today I want to focus on you being able to talk about yourself. Right? So we're going to do a fun exercise first. So everybody please use your big brain and think about, and you can write this down anywhere. You can write it down in your notebook on this worksheet. There's notepads in the back of the room if anybody wants a notepad. Would anybody like a notepad? I'm happy to hand them out. All right, cool. Sure. So here's my big, this should be, and don't overthink the question. Just have fun with the answer. What is one thing that you love about your school? What is one thing you love about your school? Ooh, save that thought. Yeah, you are going to share it. All right, when you've got your thing written down, just wave your pen in the air so they know you've got something written down. Wave your pen in the air. One thing you love about your school. It's not a test. This is not a test. Just whatever comes to mind. There's got to be one thing at least you love about your school because you are here representing them. You're an ambassador for that amazing place that you come from. And now, my friends, because I think it's such an important thing to do to grow your network at these conferences, here's my challenge to you on this fine Saturday morning is when I say go, everybody in the room is going to stand up, and everybody in the room is going to find somebody they've never talked to before, and everyone's going to introduce themselves by name, and it's on your name tag, so if you forget that because you're anxious about meeting someone new, they can help you, right? You've already been here a whole day, you already have this much in common with the folks in the room, you all know why you're here, but being anxious or nervous about meeting new people is very normal. So if you feel that, embrace it. Embrace it because you're not the only person in the room that feels that way, right? But once you start a conversation about something that you like, you'll see how the conversation changes. So when I say go, please everybody stand. Find somebody you've never talked to before, and just share your name, where you go to school, and what you love about your school. All right? Go for it.
Hi. Jake.
All right, my friends, stay where you are. Freeze for a second. Freeze right there. Oh, this is so cool that I noticed this. When I first suggested that you should meet someone new, everybody in the room was like, right? And then you stood up, and you're engaging with somebody, and you're smiling, and you're talking to somebody new. And isn't that cool? In that moment, you just made a new connection at this conference. So would you please look at this person and say, I'm so glad you're my new bestie. Right? All right, now, this is somebody who you can talk to at lunch today. You can talk to in other breakout sessions. You already know a little bit about them, right? Maybe this is a person you want to exchange contact information with because you can share ideas about what's going on your respective campuses, right? This is a really important skill that's transferable to a professional world, right? Your ability to network wherever you're working, wherever you're on the planet, is a really great skill to learn and to practice and to know that the more people that you meet, the more impact that you're going to have, right? When I was talking yesterday about how do you serve the audience, right? The more you network on campus, the more people you know, the more people you're actually going to be able to help. Not specifically the people that you've met, but maybe you meet somebody new and they have a need and you're like, oh my gosh, I know somebody who can help you, right? But that happens because you know more people, all right? So fist bump the person and go back to your seat. Right on, right on. So on this whiteboard up here, on this these cool pieces of paper, I've got a top 10 leadership skill list that student leaders exhibit, right? If y'all look over here, and if you want to write this down, you can, or if you want to snap a picture of it, you can. But we're going to add to it so you can save yourself a little time and snap a picture later. So these are top 10 leadership skills that student leaders get to practice, exhibit, live in. Right? But what I'd like for us to do now is sort of give a couple examples of each one. How is it on your campus that you've been able to showcase this and what it is that you're doing specifically in your role that showcases creativity and innovation, showcases adaptability, showcases decision making. Does that all make sense? So if you could, take a minute and just look down the list and write on your notes one skill for each one. This is not a test. So if you don't know what to write for one of them, that's okay. But I'll give you examples, okay? Let me, on my laptop that is now turned on, okay. Communication skill, you just exhibited it by networking, right? By talking or public speaking. Organization and planning would be event planning. Problem solving would be finding solutions when you have a conflict with a friend. Okay, so go with based on those examples. But have fun with it. You've got 3 minutes. All right, so it was so nice to see you write down fervently. Don't feel any emotion if you didn't get all 10 done. We're going to talk about each one, okay? And you're going to share ideas. Can I get a volunteer who is willing to write up on the wall? You don't have to come up with the ideas. You just have to be the pen holder and the writer.
Do we have to know how to spell it?
No, absolutely not. This is not an English class or, yeah.
I can't spell everything, but...
No, that's great. Thanks, Alyssa. Come on in. Everybody give Alyssa a round of applause. Alyssa, who's your new bestie today?
Hey, bestie.
Right on, right on. So what do you remember about Alyssa when you guys were chatting? What's something that Alyssa loves about her school?
How small it is, how tight-knit everybody is around there, and how she gets to meet everybody on the campus. Well, not everybody, but a lot.
That's awesome. And what's your name?
Ryan.
Ryan. So what is...
I was close. I was thinking like...
Yeah. This is hard, right? Remembering names, and that's the beauty of the name tag, right? So if you met someone earlier, and you're like... I mean, and that's why we ask you to wear them in the marketplace, right? I had so many students yesterday coming around, they were like in their pocket, some of you guys. I was like, put it on, I want to be able to say your name, right? All right, so Alyssa's going to pick a color, any color. There's a green over there. The black one is kind of going dead. But
I'll use red.
You use red, okay, perfect. So, oh, sorry, I wasn't looking down. So now, some of the things you wrote down is what Alyssa's going to write up here. So, for communication skills, and guess what? I know that you have an answer because I saw you writing, right? I saw you writing. So now it's detached from you. So if you're nervous about speaking publicly, you're just reading what's written on the paper. It has nothing to do with you anymore, right? But it is a skill that you reflected on and said you're good. So Alyssa, let's start with communication skills. Can some of y'all can any of you give an example?
Talking to random strangers.
Okay, good. You can just write talking.
Okay.
Yeah, we can shorten these. Hello, my friend. So glad you're here. All right, we're giving examples of how we exhibit those different things. Okay, so talking, but it's not just talking to yourself, it's talking to new people, right? Okay, who has something different than talking? Networking, that's awesome. Networking? Yeah.
Okay, I'll just start writing.
Yeah, you can just start writing. You don't have to. You're now the leader, okay? Actually, yeah, why don't you take the lead?
What? Oh. Any other communication skills?
Who has some? Say it again.
Doing outreach.
Doing outreach, great.
Great.
Beautiful.
These are all words I can spell.
That's awesome. So let's just, based on the time, we have a limited time that we have today, let's just do 3 for each, okay? All right, next one is
Organization and planning.
Be respectful of everyone's time.
respectful of time, yeah. Planning. Yes, yeah, you can have, yeah, and there are no wrong answers, right? This is your opinion, and that's the beauty of it, because everyone interprets things differently, right? We interpret things differently. Words mean different things to different people, all right? All right, another one you wrote down for how you showcase organization and planning. Just event planning, right?
Yeah,
Of course, yep.
Having an agenda.
Agenda, great. You got that word? Yeah, you're good. All right, now, does anybody feel confident right now, or not confident? Does anybody feel not qualified to take my position right now, to take my spot? Stand where I am and just help Alyssa lead through these words. You said yes? That would be so amazing. Everybody give, is it Maya or Mia? Maya, everybody give Maya a round of applause. All right, you are so good, Maya. Have fun.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to move on to problem solving. If anybody has suggestions.
So the fun thing, Maya, now that we know that everyone wrote something down, you can just call on people. And speak loudly enough for the whole room to hear you, please. What did you write on your paper? Just make it easy for yourself.
I guess analyzing or being analytical. After, yeah.
Yes.
Feedback.
Feedback.
Make sure you're speaking loud enough for the whole room to hear you. Remember, you're a student leader, and we're talking about transferable skills to your future job. Imagine that I'm the interviewer. Imagine that I'm the person going to give you the job. What is your body language? What is your involvement today telling me about you? Are you worthy of being hired by my company? Come on, think about that. I'm putting you on the spot, but this is a safe space, right?
Okay, well, next we have teamwork and collaboration. Next. Communication. Social good. Just put social. Just social.
This is great.
I don't know how to explain it well. Like when clubs like collaborate with other clubs. Other than that.
Joint
That's it,
events.
yes, that's it. I mean, that is, collaboration sort of is the word that you're using
Yeah.
to describe collaboration, but that's correct, yeah.
Joint events.
Yeah.
Joint events, ooh, that's good.
Next one we
Make sure
have
that
is
hyphens in there.
Yeah.
decision making. Can I hear from the back corner?
I didn't get anything written down for decision making.
I said like choosing a degree.
Absolutely. That's not easy, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I changed my mind 3 times.
So many things interesting.
Right?
Related to APCA, like if you're running an event, choosing what vendors are gonna be there, what.
Oh, yeah, great.
Responsibility. for decision making.
So we have 3. Now we're going to do adaptability. Anybody have anything for that?
Flexibility.
You said what?
Flexibility.
Flexibility. In the back, yeah.
I wrote down logistics.
Logistics.
Improvising.
Improvise.
Ooh, good word.
IMPRO.
I got the rest. There's the in or in.
Creativity and innovation. Anybody have anything down for that?
do a lot of like graphic design and editing, so like media stuff, you just put
Mhm.
media.
So I have a question for you. Did anything happen this weekend that you didn't see, but because you saw it, it sparked an idea? It sparked an alternative idea. You're like, oh, what I just saw, I don't think this is the right person or the right thing to do on campus, but I have an idea and I want to share it with my group. Right? So, I'm just throwing in that, coming up with an original idea, right? The innovation part of it, just original. So you're not being told what to do, you're actually suggesting what to do.
I thought of like homecoming theming too, and like
Yeah.
naming events.
Welcome week, stuff like that.
Yeah, great. Naming events, sure.
Put marketing,
Marketing.
inspiration.
Imagination.
It's in the title.
Right, of course, yeah. But remember, it's kind of like the worksheet that I handed you, right? Some of those words that you might want people to say about you, the way to describe it or the behavior that you exhibit is the same as the word, right? Okay, thank you.
Next we have time management. Can we get you in the front? Wolves. Shirt. Straight wolf shirt.
Oh yeah, balancing school, work, and clubs.
Yeah,
Balancing time.
Work life
Just balanced.
Yeah.
yeah, you probably all showcase that, right? At some level, right?
It's been a little shaky this week. Responsible?
Let's not give myself too much credit.
Responsible.
Yeah.
Oh, you're drawing.
Balancing your responsibilities, right? Balancing
Anybody
responsibilities.
have one more to add?
I'm gonna add meet deadlines on time management, right?
Yeah, not procrastinating.
Right, but
Which is
here's the other
something
thing,
I've
I
never
want you to
done
think,
and never will do.
especially in this one with time management, time is the same for Beyonce as it is for me. Time is the same for Justin Timberlake as it is for you. None of us can manage time. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. What is it that we're actually managing? Ourselves. So when somebody says time management, you gotta think about it as self-management. Self-management. Right? Self-management, and that is balance and meeting your deadlines. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Conflict resolution?
Understanding different perspectives.
Active listener.
All right, that's a skill that you probably exhibit all the time.
You wanna say something out here, I see it. You wanna say something.
What was the last one?
Active listening. Can you speak louder?
Mutual understanding.
Mutual understanding.
The handwriting's progressively going.
Leadership and influence, last one.
Taking initiative.
Taking initiative.
Good. Is-
Empowerment.
Knowing when to let go of the reins.
Sure.
So how's delegation, yeah.
No, you have to write all that out, Alyssa.
Luckily.
You wanna add something else?
That's awesome. So give our amazing two presenters a big round of applause. Thanks so much for being up here. That was great. You're so good at this. Oh my gosh, you're natural. You're a natural. All right, so one of the things about your leadership and influence and the job that you have is you inspire others. Right? You inspire others to show up at events. You inspire others to get jobs done. You inspire others to get out of bed in the morning, right? That's what makes you a great leader. Okay, now based on these things, these awesome things, the next step I want you to do is actually think about yourself and the specific tasks you perform in your role. How many of you are brand new to your role? Right? So it might be a bit of a mystery about what tasks you perform, but maybe you've discovered some this weekend, right? You can start thinking about tasks. Well, go ahead and write down a task that you know that you do right now, please. All right. Now I'm gonna write. We'll just go for speed because we only have like 20 minutes left, and I want to make sure we get all this fun stuff in. What's a task that you wrote down in the back row in the green shirt?
Accept new members.
Oh, you are in charge of accepting new members?
I'm the president for my club.
Ooh, right on, okay. So the task you perform is exhibiting a welcoming behavior, right? Okay, all right, so you said welcome, I'm gonna say newbies, right? All right, give me another task.
Coming up with ideas.
Say it again?
Ideas.
Brainstorming? Okay. Okay. What's another task that you do? Yeah.
Engaging students with the college life.
Engaging students.
With college life, just
With-
like with the events or just like
Right.
with the clubs or
Cool.
anything.
Engaging others. Right? So when you engage others, there's definitely a skill that you've learned in that process, right? In the brainstorming process, there's a skill that you have learned or that you're working on getting better at. In welcoming newbies, there's skills that you gained by having that role and responsibility. Let's get some more tasks.
I frequently collab with Uniboard or other organizations to promote.
So you task you perform is, I think that might be the skill that you probably do outreach to connect with them, right? So the thing that you have to do, if I'm like, hey, you gotta go find another group for us to work with.
So like,
So the first step is you gotta find the other people to work with, right? Yeah, well, I would say like outreach. Outreach, right? You do outreach to other clubs.
also students from other schools as well.
Okay, outreach to others, cool. All right, another task that you perform, yeah.
Running events.
Running events, right? And then you can get into the nitty gritty, right? If you run an event, right, you from start to finish, right, you do all the things required to run an event, right? The event just doesn't, boom, happen, and it happened, right? You had to, like, as a committee, make a decision, see if the thing was available, rent the popcorn machine, make the posters, then promote the event, right, in all these different ways, and then maybe you were the leader in that, so you were asking people to get their jobs done. These are real skills. These are real skills, right? Give me one more task. Yeah.
Leading business.
Leading meetings. Oh my gosh, yeah. That's your responsibility. What is your role in your group? What's your title?
Our group is like divided into different like sectors, we call it, different committees.
Okay.
I am, our committee is called the operations, where essentially we do like liaison, order things for our group and lead meetings.
Oh, that's cool.
Agendas.
That's very cool. Okay, let's do one more. One more task. Yeah.
Approving projects.
Approving?
Projects.
Approving projects. Who are you? You like come to me and I'll let you know whether
So my club is kind of like project based, so we do projects.
Okay.
And I'm the president, so I approve the projects that we're doing.
Cool. What's your official title?
I'm the co-chair.
The approver. Right? So that's a big one. That's making decisions about what goes and what doesn't go.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's just say approving projects. So there's a bunch of skills that are going to be involved here, right? Because sometimes you're going to have to disapprove. So what skills do you learn when you're in human connection, right? All right, so now let's get into what skills you can weigh in on these. What are some skills you gained by doing that task? Right? What are skills that you gained by welcoming newbies? Communication, absolutely. Thank you. What's another skill maybe that you learned? Yeah, just how about exhibiting positive body language, right? You learned to not show RBF all the time, right? Are you approachable? Are you approachable? If you've got a table in the student center and are you sitting there looking miserable, or are you showing that you're somebody that's approachable, right? And if you don't know what RBF is, it's when you exhibit a not friendly face. And so the more self-aware you are, and there's nothing wrong with that. When we relax, our muscles are different. But when you smile, remember those mirror neurons, if I'm smiling, I'm more approachable. If I'm friendly, I'm more approachable. So if your job is to welcome the new people, what is a skill that you've learned? Not only communication, but body language, right? And personal presentation, right? What did you choose to wear today? Is it welcoming, or does it just have a big sign that says, I hate this particular group? Or, right? Are you wearing a political shirt when you're trying to welcome people in your organization? Because that will turn off a lot of people, right? So you got to be considerate of that. So I'm going to say communication, body language is a real good skill to have, right? Being self-aware, right? So, and think about this. So what are you conveying to me right now? Right? When you are sitting in a room and I'm the facilitating it, what do you convey? Like, what is the way, even think about the way you came into the room and where you sat. What does that tell me? And this is in no way judgmental, right? Because maybe you've never thought about this before, right? But what does it tell me? And then, so this is for you to think about. If I'm hiring somebody from this room, where do you think I'm going to be looking first? Right here, right? Because it shows that they're going to be engaged. In every room, they're going to push themselves, and that's no judgment, okay? I'm just letting you know. Because the natural human thing to do is to be in a safe space, right? You want to go to the back corner and be safe. You want to go to the side of the room and be safe, right? That's normal, that's normal. But if you're stepping into a room where you're being interviewed, right? Think about it that way, right? So this is really important. Your body language is really important. Okay, task you perform. Brainstorming. What is a skill that you've learned by brainstorming?
Creative thinking.
Creative thinking, yeah, great.
Logical thinking.
Uh-huh.
Understanding of perspective.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Understanding perspectives, is that what you're saying there is you're working with others.
Yeah.
Understanding others. So it's a creative endeavor. Like when I write songs with other people, I have to listen to their ideas. And I have to present my ideas. And sometimes they're not going to like my ideas, and I got to just get over it. Right? Not everyone's going to like every idea I have. Right? And you just got to be mature emotionally, be like, oh, so my idea didn't get picked this time. So in brainstorming, you're collaborating, so you're learning how to creatively think, you're learning how to understand others, you're also, the skill that you're working on is you're using some of these, right? You're using some of these skills over here. All right, who said engaging others? Yeah, okay, what's a skill that you gained by practicing the act of like reaching out and engaging others?
Networking.
Networking, awesome, thank you. So you're starting to see how the things that you're doing now are actually really valuable skills. The things that you're learning in the roles that you have are really valuable skills. What do you learn when your task is you got to go out on campus and you got to meet people you don't know? Right? Right? So we can even refer back to this. Is there any skill, leadership skill over here that would relate to outreach to others? I'm not looking, but is there anything you see over here? Can you?
Communication.
Oh, say that.
Communication.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, perfect. Outreach to others. Yes, you're definitely working on your own communication, right? Skills, right? You're also, let's see, well, you're going to set an example. You're showing leadership by stepping into that role. Maybe you're problem solving because your club doesn't have the popcorn machine and the other club does, and you're like, our event is a movie night, we should really collaborate with that other club because they got popcorn, right? So you solved a problem, good on you, right? And there's a lot of skills that you learn just in these. Okay, running an event, holy moly. Like I think we're gonna probably do all these when we run an event, right? Okay, I'm gonna leave that blank because it's huge. Like that's a big one. But your task in that could be, you're in charge of marketing. You're in charge of helping the band unload from their trailer. You're in charge of getting the food for backstage. Or you're in charge of snacks, right? Making a program, right? You get all that. All right, leading meetings. What leadership skill do you learn, right? What skill are you learning if you're put into a position where you're leading meetings?
Management.
Management, okay, good. Management, supervising. Those guys are so good.
I was gonna say mediation, but that kind of falls under management.
Yeah.
I was thinking leadership and influence.
Yeah, absolutely. Leadership, just being the leader, being the one who is, like, right now I'm in that role, right? And I have to exhibit a lot of these right now because I have to be really aware of time, right? I have to be really aware of time because there might be another ed session that you want to go to, and I want to respect you for that, right? So, but then by respecting you, I'm showing good like communication skills. I'm showing good I'm showing good influence. Like I want you to also be very cognizant of others. I want you to care about each other. All right, approving projects. What is a skill that you've gained?
Critical thinking.
Critical thinking.
You have to
Okay.
be able to tell which projects are going to work and which ones are not.
All right. What other skill do you learn when you're tasked with?
Being analytical.
Say it again.
Being analytical.
Ethical.
Analytical.
Analytical. Okay. Yep. You're showing that you're able to be analytical. One more.
Decision making.
Decision making, yeah, okay, improvement process, you're good at critical thinking, decision making. So if you're in charge of approving projects and you don't approve my project, how are you doing it? What are you learning in that process? Do you want me to quit and never come back?
No, you can always improvise things and come back to me.
Yeah, so you're learning, you're learning people skills,
Yeah, people.
right? You don't say to somebody, your idea sucks. Right? It's your idea sucks, right? It's sort of this yes and attitude. Like, I really, this is what is good about your idea. This is why we are gonna not be able to approve it at this time. But I would love to see you review it and come back and like. So you're learning being tactful, right? You're learning how to be tactful. I'm gonna use that word. May I use that word? Okay, tact. Tactful. Okay. Whew. Now, this last thing that I'm going to challenge you to do, because this is what you're going to have to say in an interview. This is the action and impact statement, right? Select a responsibility or a project that you've done, just one thing, right? And then what you're going to do is explain what impact it's had on others. What is the thing you did? What is the action that you took? And what does it have on impact on others? And I'll give you a sample sentence. I coordinated a campus-wide event attended by 300 students, which improved student engagement and fostered community. Okay? I coordinated a campus-wide event, that was my action, and what was the impact? It improved student engagement and it fostered community. So if I ask you what your role is as the interviewer, right, you want to give an action and impact statement. Tell me about your work in student activities. Oh, I'm glad you asked that question. I've done a lot with student activities. This is one thing I did, and this is the impact that it had. So even reflect on what you've done so far in your career as a student activities professional. All right, is anybody willing to share what your impact statement is? Yeah, go ahead. Say it loud enough for the whole room to hear.
When I was decorating for Halloween,
Yeah.
we got creative,
Uh-huh.
and people really started to get into the Halloween spirit.
That's awesome. So the action was,
We decorated for Halloween,
and its impact?
and it got people into the spirit.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's a great way to say what you did and how it made an impact. Because if I want you on my team, we as a team want to make a difference. We want to make a difference. It doesn't matter what job you're going to take. Like, jobs weren't created just for you to get money. Jobs were created in the service of something bigger. Like, there's some purpose behind everything, right? Anybody else want to share their impact statement? Yeah.
I created bonding nights for my board to improve our relationships with each other.
Oh, you created action. You created bonding nights with your organization. And what did it do? What was it?
Improve our relationship.
It improved your relationship. Gosh, I really want you on my team. That's great. Right? Anybody else want to share their impact statement? Yeah, thanks.
So last year I hosted a conferences. It was like 400 students, and I encouraged them to like contribute to open source projects and being a part of a community so they can feel connected.
That's great. What was your action?
It was to encourage students to join open source projects and being part of the community.
And what was the impact?
They joined. A lot of people actually joined, and they started contributing to like open source. Now they're traveling around the world for free.
Great. Oh, that's great. So, all right. Who else wants to share their action and impact statement? Yeah.
Last year, I made a marketing video for student government for our suggestion boxes, for students to put suggestions, and it led to
That's awesome. The action is?
Making the marketing piece,
And the impact?
more suggestions.
Right, so more possibilities, right? That is a great, that's like public collaboration, right? That's cool. Let's hear another one. These are really great. Yeah.
I coordinated a campus-wide survey that was taken by 35% of our in-person student body, and that will foster collaboration with faculty, staff, and students to improve campus environment.
What was the action?
Making a survey,
And what was the impact?
fostering collaboration, making an impact.
So you're getting it, right? Yeah, go ahead.
So we've been hosting events in other areas of the campus that aren't usually, that we don't make events there. So people on those places also get to know what's going on in the main.
Great. What's the action?
Spreading our events around campus.
Promoting events, yeah. And
Yeah.
what's the impact?
Outreaching more people.
Yeah, and you can even, what is that? What is that impact on their lives, right?
Oh, I mean, yeah, they get more engaged.
Yeah, they get more. I mean, as Eric has said from the stage, you are like, you change people's lives. You're not just party planners, right? Because if you came into an interview and I was hiring you for my a job to work on my team, and I was like, so you were a party planner, and you could say, yeah, I was a party planner. Yeah, absolutely. I planned parties, and these are all the tasks I performed as a party planner. But these are all the leadership skills that I exhibited. This is how it made an impact, right? So this is really important for you to frame everything that you do with this kind of statement, right? I did this, and it led to this. Action and impact, and it's a really powerful way to talk about yourself. And you should talk about yourself that way because you're a rock star student leader, right? You are changing people's lives, you really are. And this might be the first time you're thinking about it that way, right? Maybe you joined the group because just your friend was in the group and you're like, okay. But oh gosh, it turns out that you're actually getting some really valuable skills. And they are transferable to whatever future role you want to play in any organization. So this weekend is a huge stepping stone for you, right? In your own personal and professional and leadership development, right? So congrats on that. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, what is one leadership skill that you're proud of, and how will you present it in a professional setting, right? This is something to think about. When you're able to talk about all these, and I'd like you to take a picture of it before you go if you didn't write it all down, you have to learn to talk about it. And talking about it in this way is really great, the action impact statement. But I want to close out with asking you all just to share with me, what is a new perspective that you have on your current co-curricular role? What is a new perspective that you have on your current co-curricular role? Yeah.
So for me, I'm in the events committee. And this semester I realized that a lot of the other committees depend on us to have all the event details ready, like as soon as possible so they can start working.
Right, okay. Cool. So other people rely on you. That's a good epiphany, like, oh, what I do matters. Okay, good. Or you can also frame this like final question, what is an aha moment? What's a takeaway that you had from this workshop? Time management is self-management. That's a good one, right? It's not, you can't manage time. It's 24 hours, no matter what we do. But we can manage ourselves. We can learn to manage ourselves.
I guess all of the skills that go into it.
Yeah.
You think about the main ones, but really taking a deep dive is different.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Even the simplest of tasks can reward you with a lot of skills.
Yes, even the simplest of tasks can reward you with a lot of skills. And if you start thinking about the things you're doing this semester, and you can even start like making a list of all the things that you are doing, right? Make a list of all the things that you're doing, and keep a record of it, so that when it comes time for you to go into an interview and you've looked over all the things that you've accomplished and all the impact that you've had, you're not put on the spot, right? You're not put on the spot in an interview situation, right? And someone's like, well, tell me about your work in student activities. And you're nervous because you're in the interview and you're drawing a blank and you're like, Halloween party, right? But instead you can say, like, I was on a committee that helped put on this event, and these are the things that I did on my committee, and this is the impact that it had on the group and on the community, right? Y'all are awesome. I'm gonna hire all of you. All right, I think we're out of time. sadly, no, we did it just on time. It's 9:49. Good job. Good time management, Jason. Give myself a high five. Give yourself a high five. But also, take this minute just to, if you want to exchange contact info with any of your new besties, that's absolutely appropriate.